Okay, since you started working here, what all have you learned as far as taking care of the animals and telling people about them?
Learn about animals. I learned like everything there is to know about stingrays and horseshoe crabs. I know the names of more fish than I think I've ever known in my life. As far as people, pretty much knew everything that I was coming into when it came to dealing with people. Like I worked in airbrush shops and stuff like that downtown, so I knew how to handle people. Just be polite, use words like please and thank you, and you don't have any problems.
So how long have you been working in education department so far?
Uh, about 8 months, something like that.
And in that time, do you think that Ripley's is a good corporation to work for? Like, do you enjoy your job?
Yeah, wish I got paid more, but I love my job.
Don't we all wish that?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good work environment, such as like, do you get along with your coworkers? Do you work well with your manager? How is your managerial staff? And all that stuff. Like, how is it as far as being in education goes?
Manager's pet. I never get in trouble, but I like most of the people that work here. I mean, of course you're gonna have differences, but like majority, I don't know. There's nobody in particular that I don't like here, but there's some people that I don't agree with 100%.
But overall, do you think it's a
Yeah,
good work environment?
very much so, actually. Probably the most positive work environment I've had yet. A lot better in restaurants or any of that crap.
Would you suggest this to other people? Like, would you
Yeah.
say, hey, come work for Ripley's?
Are they using me for a reference? Because there's some people I just wouldn't recommend working here just because I know they'll get fired after like a week. But if I thought the person was like reliable and dependable, then yeah, I would tell them to come work here. But I'm not gonna throw my name out there for just any of my friends because most of them are pretty irresponsible.
What's your favorite part about being in education?
um, Oh, there's a couple things that are key. Sleep with Sharks is really cool. You know, I like that education helped me do that. Sometimes the little kids' faces are like priceless. Like when you're at the Horseshoe Crab tank and you hold one out for them, and they're just like so happy about it. That's a cool part of my job. Yeah, get to meet some really cool people. Get to talk to really cool people all over the country, world, even for that matter.
Well, thank you, Dakota, for letting me interview you, and I hope you have a good rest of the day at work.
I'll try. Thank you.
This is the husbandries area. That's necropsy, and that's where we have all the fish autopsies when they die. That is their offices. That's where they do all their work and paperwork. As you can see, there's a diver hard working. Then we have the holding tanks. That's where we keep the different fish from where we get them, and they'll stay there until they're ready to be put out into population. And then we also hold sick fish there too. And all the test tubes and stuff you can see in the back. That's where we monitor the pH balances and everything and make sure the water levels are right and appropriate for the animals. And that's more test tubes. Down here we have the acclimation tank. That's where the divers get in and out of Shark Lagoon. So what is your favorite part about your job? And what is your job? What do you do?
My job typically is informing guests during shows or encounters about the animals that we have, whether it be a dive show, encounter, or teaching classroom programs.
Do you enjoy your work?
It's fun. It's nice teaching science to people that normally don't know anything about science, so that's always fun.
What made you pick Ripley's?
Location's good, and different opportunities that they offer.
How long have you worked for Ripley's?
Just over 8 years. 8 years was in August.
That's a long time.
I'm old, you know.
What is your favorite encounter to do for people?
I enjoy Splash with the Stingrays and the behind-the-scenes tour, because not many people see that. Penguin encounters are fun, but penguins are not really that great, so they're kind of evil.
What qualifications did you have to work as a diver/educator?
Science background is preferred as an educator, especially when writing programs and stuff like that for school field trips.
What inspired you to actually work in the field that you're working in?
This field promotes conservation and ocean literacy, which is a big thing that the aquarium's about, is ocean literacy. People understanding what we're doing to the environment, and as a result, like changing their bad habits.
Do you think Ripley's provides a good work environment?
Yeah, it does. There's all sorts of things that this aquarium offers that not others can, so it's nice.
Okay, now the question that's burning on everybody's mind. What are the penguins like?
For the most part, the penguins are fun to work with. The exception being those few that did come straight from South Africa. They're a little bit more aggressive. Penguins are not always as cuddly as they look. Tails is nice, Noelle is nice, Momo is not nice. She likes you, of course, but not me. You were there that day that she was attacking us. So it all depends on their mood.
What goes all into feeding them and taking care of them?
Taking care of them is a lot. They actually out-eat our sharks. Our sharks eat 8,500 pounds of food, which include our sawfish, so sawfish weight is in there too. And our penguins eat 8,000 pounds of food every year, so a lot of food prep. Cleaning their exhibit, it's hosed and down and pressure washed at least 3 or 4 times a day. A lot of cleaning, a lot of poop. I'm pooped on right now, actually.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Josh, for letting me interview you. And hopefully you have a great day.
Thank
and
you.
get the poop off your pants.
I know, I need to.
Okay, so how long have you worked for Ripley's?
It'll be 5 years in March.
Alright, what were your qualifications to be hired as husbandry?
Work my butt off. Usually you have to have a 4 to 6 year degree. I came in with nothing, and they pretty much took me under their wing and just teaching me what I'd normally learn in college and stuff. So I lucked into an awesome job.
What all have you learned since you started working here?
Everything really, from taking care of fish to their living environments, to the water quality, to causes of death, things like that. I learned the anatomy of every animal we have here pretty much, inside and out, so their habits and their just everything. How to take care of them and keep them happy and stuff. So.
Why did you choose this career?
Because it's an awesome career. You get to deal with some of the most exotic creatures from the ocean. I've always loved the ocean. One day I want to live by the ocean. But I've just always, I guess, had a quote-unquote connection with the ocean in some fashion. So it just seemed like a fun job. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun too. So.
What's your favorite part of your job?
Favorite part? I love the diving. I love the diving part of it. I like the endless learning, because you always learn new things. Stay busy. Always running around. Don't have time for much else other than work. So it's like crazy, but I love everything I do. There's not really one that particular aspect I like more than others, but I really like it all. But the diving part of it is, I guess, one of my top 2.
So what goes into cleaning the tanks?
Like, it depends on the size of the actual tank and what animals are in there.
So for instance, Shark Lagoon versus any of the entry tanks, or like Coral Reef, the living coral.
Well, the entry tank, pretty much all that goes into it is we get in a couple times a week and vacuum up any fish waste or stuff that have settled on the bottom, any uneaten food. Take scrub brushes in there and scrub any of the algae that may grow. And then we take a diaper or a soft cloth and wipe the inside of the acrylic to make sure there's none of the algae stuff growing on the acrylic to make the exhibits actually look really nice. When it comes to Shark Lagoon, it's pretty much 750,000 gallons. So as far as physical maintaining that tank, we do a dive every day at 9:30. So we pretty much have a group of divers go in and either clean the tunnel from the inside with a diaper or a soft cloth, and wipe all the sediment or fish waste that settles on the tunnel. They clean it off, and 3 times a week we go in there and do a big gravel wash, and they'll get in and scrub, just with scrub brushes and whatnot, scrub any algae off artificial corals, things like that. And then most of the quote unquote maintenance for, I guess, the animals themselves, this comes from the filtration system that we've got that runs the particular tank. But some of the smaller exhibits, it just depends on what animals are in there and how much waste they produce. Because some tanks get gravel washed every day, twice a day, 3 times a day sometimes. It just depends on which one it is. And the acrylics are done every day, and then they get scrubbed periodically as algae grows on artificial corals and such.
What's the hardest exhibit or like hardest animals to take care of? Like which ones are the most difficult?
Require a lot of care would be the sea dragons. They are very high maintenance. The living coral exhibit is very high maintenance. You got to keep certain levels in the water. You got to keep a standard for like corals can't survive. And then the sea dragons, they're not really my expertise, but they are extremely fragile. Any drastic change in their environment can cause them to spiral into either stress them out, or they'll come up to the top and just start sucking air and it'll end up killing them. So they got to keep a certain environment and a certain flow in that tank to maintain those guys, because they are extremely fragile and very expensive.
Okay, so a little fact on Ripley's. Why did you pick Ripley's out of all the other places you could work?
I guess it's local, really. It was because where I live, just out of default, it was the only place around this area to work in.
Do
But
you
I
think,
do want to get out by the ocean one day and work on the ocean. So.
do you think that they provide a healthy work environment for your area of work?
Yes, very well.
What about Sally, the sea turtle? Is there any kind of interesting quirks about her? What does she eat? How much does she weigh? And do you know how old she is?
We think she's right around 50. Her diet mostly consists of squid, twice a week, and then she gets lettuce and bok choy every day. But she gets about 2 to 3 pounds of squid every Tuesday and Thursday. She gets, sometimes we'll throw her in like a little piece of salmon or a little piece of fish that she wouldn't normally get. But due to her weight, we keep her kind of on a strict diet for right now. She weighs, did I tell you how much she weighs? She's right at about 450-ish. The last time we weighed her, I think it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, she maxed out the scale. So, and I think it maxes out at like 400. So we're thinking she's right around 450 range. So, and when we do feed her, we bang on the side of the tank out there 3 times, and she comes swimming across the tank back to the acclimation pool. So we've got her trained to come back in the back when she hears the noise in the water. She normally gets up, swims back to the back, and we keep her back there while we feed the main shark lagoon, so we can monitor her diet and such. So interesting. Yeah, Sally's pretty cool.
All right, well, thank you so very much,
You're
Ben,
very
for
welcome.
letting me interview you. Now, I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Very
you.
welcome.